This is Catachan, home to many of the most deadly creatures known to mankind. But there is one that is king among them. A predatory arthropod, possibly a distant relative of the Terran centipede, only much larger. It's been known to attack entire tank companies and win, and is capable of reaching lengths of over 30 meters. That's as long as the blue whale, which was, according to Imperial records, the largest creature to ever live on the homeworld of Terra. Catachan is a world in the Ultima Segmentum. It is the most infamous and lethal death world within the Imperium's borders, covered in dense, dark jungles where everything is hostile. So much so that Catachan doesn't have a planetary defense force, instead relying on the hostile environment to deter anyone or anything else from invading. In short, a world where weakness means death, the ideal place for a super predator to come into existence. May I introduce the Catachan Devil, Catachanu Scorpius Maximus. It's among the biggest animals on Catachan. As mentioned before, they can grow up to lengths of 30 meters or more, resembling the Terran centipede in appearance. They are long and thin with many sets of legs, a segmented body with a thick exoskeleton that covers nearly all of its weak spots, and a long scorpion-like tail that ends in a venomous barb. An extendable mouth with lateral mandibles, and the front two legs on the male specimens will grow much larger, resembling a pair of scorpion claws. They are territorial creatures, each carving out a piece of Catachan for themselves. One of such territories has been inhabited by the same unusually large Catachan Devil for several standard decades, so much so that the region is now nicknamed the Green Falls, after the devil of the same name that lives there. Occasionally, Catachan devils will form nesting groups, which often have several larger devils in them, as well as a few dozen devil spawn, which is a term used for younger, smaller devils. Because of the highly dangerous flora and fauna on Catachan, the inhabitants of this death world have become especially hardy. The Catachan Jungle Fighters, a regiment in the Imperial Guard, are well known for being some of the fiercest fighters in Yastur Militarum. The culture of their homeworld can be found everywhere in both their preferences in warfare as well as their day-to-day lives. Catachan devils, for example, are so infamous that the Catachan Jungle Fighters have named their most fearsome knives as well as their deadliest soldiers after it. Slaying a devil spawn is considered a rite of passage for many of the local guardsmen. One Catachan Jungle Fighter named Kircher described his battle with the devil to a rogue trader by the name of Janus Drake, who then wrote about it in his book, the Liber Xenologis. This account then made it to one of the Imperium's archive worlds, where I found much of the information I am now sharing with you. The regiment sent him into the jungle. He was told to slay a devil spawn with nothing but a knife in order to be accepted into the regiment. Once he had found one, he engaged it in battle. Many close calls would follow, resulting in several wounds all over his body. As the battle went on, he found himself unable to land the killing blow. He then deliberately let the devil lock its mandibles onto his leg in order to force his blade into a weak spot on the creature's carapace. He did this knowing it would cost him his leg, but considered it worthwhile if it granted him a place in the regiment. He now wears a metal leg. Kircher then also mocked Drake by suggesting that if he ever found himself in the jungle of Catachan, he should use a strategy considered cowardly by many of the native guardsmen, a detail I greatly enjoy, since I'm the greatest rogue trader, and anyone who thinks otherwise should get fed to a Catachan devil. It's worth noting that the book doesn't specify that the devils were devil spawn, but I took the liberty of assuming it. I'm well aware of the Catachan Jungle Fighters' reputation. However, if each of them could consistently kill a fully grown Catachan devil, then why for the Emperor's sake do we even have Space Marines? Next time Hive Fleet Leviathan rears its head, just send in the Jungle Fighters. One of them can take on a Carnifex, and a squad of them can take out a Hierophant. All of them together could probably take out the Hive Mind. I'm joking, of course. Speaking of Tyranids, have I mentioned that the Catachan Devil might be a Tyranid offshoot? The theory goes that a member of the Tyranid Vanguard line got separated from his Hive Fleet and had to adapt in order to survive on its own. If this did occur, it was likely a Ravener or perhaps a Moloch. I myself find this somewhat unlikely. From the sources I had access to, it seems like they have little in common, and Tyranids are also believed to be asexual, whereas Catachan devils are not. The Catachan devil can also be found on other worlds. This is due to the Imperium's genius idea to put them there. I can't see how that can go wrong. There have even been some rumored sightings of Catachan devil nests on hive worlds all over the galaxy. Let that sink in. This is where I will wrap up the transmission. I hope all of you, my pupils, have learned a thing or two from me, the greatest rogue trader alive. As a trade for all this fascinating lore, I do hope you press all the buttons that require pressing. And as always, I hope to see you here next time. Bye bye.